The show is brought to you by our generous patrons at patreon.com/Fallout Lorecast.
Robots Radio presents the Fallout Lorecast.
Welcome to the Fallout Lorecast, a place for the Fallout community to come together to explore the boundaries of our knowledge about the world of Fallout. Wastelanders, Vault Dwellers, welcome back to the Fallout Lorecast. This is your host, Tom, or Robots, and it is the end of the month. Actually, I lied to you. It is the beginning of the next month, but we had to push back this episode by just a day or two in order to slide this in due to, my recovering from illness and things this last week. But being as it is technically not really the end of the month, but would have been the end of the month, it is the Patron episode, and I am live again with some of our patrons in order to talk about a really cool topic. They voted, they got together, they discussed it, and they want to talk about the things that they would do to survive in the Wasteland. And with me this week, some of our patrons, including Good at Game. Good at Game, I know this is your first time joining the show. Welcome to the show, buddy. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks so much, man. I'm doing great. Good to be here.
Awesome. And then we also have Lil Green. Lil Green, welcome back.
Good to be back again.
Yeah, dude. And then Maverick, or some of you might remember him as Pie Man. Maverick is here. Maverick, are you here? I know he's had some technical issues. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Awesome, dude.
Welcome to the Fallout. Oh wait, no, wrong show. Sorry.
Yeah. He's in podcasting mode for his new show, the Fallout Roundtable, which you guys should be checking out because he and his regular casting crew, his cohorts, have been podcasting. You guys now have what, 2 episodes out?
Yes, our second episode just came out yesterday.
That's exciting, man. And they're part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club. So you can go check that out on all the podcatchers and all the regular places. So guys, I have you here to discuss surviving in the Wasteland. And I want to know, so here's the layout for you. Here's the scenario. You are thrown out into the Wasteland. You find yourself in a very particular situation. And here's a situation that I think is really interesting to kind of put yourself in. Imagine that you are, and this is a game that I'm going to go back and revisit because I've been wanting to go back and revisit after the last time I wanted to go back and revisit Fallout New Vegas. And I only got so far until my computer started crashing on me because I think I probably had too many mods installed. So I think I'm going to start over again, not install a bunch of mods, and see if it just doesn't crash out on me so I can play through Fallout New Vegas again, because I haven't actually played through to completion in probably a decade. I've played it, but I haven't finished it in about a decade. So I think I want to get back and play through it in completion in a decade. But in Fallout New Vegas, you start out and you've been shot. The doctor pieces you back together and you are just sent out into the world. And you don't really have a home base. There's no vault to go back to. You have no family. You're just sent out into the world. You pick up a few different things from Doc's house, which he is so kind to not yell at you for taking, and he gives you some things. And then you're out there in the world. And it's up to you to survive. So this is the scenario. You're sent out into the wastes. And like I do with this show so many times, I want you to imagine actually being in a situation like that yourself. You're not the Brotherhood. You're not, equipped. You're a regular dude. You are you. From that moment, what do you do to survive? And it doesn't specifically have to be in New Vegas. It could be in any location. It could be in the location that you live right now. But where do you go from that moment of, I don't really have anything. I don't really have a home base. I don't really have a place that I'm coming from. And this world is crazy. It's trying to kill me. Everything's trying to kill me. Where do you go? What is your plan for survival? Who would like to start? Good at Game, do you want to start? I see you kind of...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, what's your plan?
Oh wow. Okay, so I've been cooking about as long since you last beat New Vegas, so about a decade. I've been cooking professionally, so I have got that skill. Now, in a situation where you're just dropped out into the wasteland, I mean, you're pretty hard pressed to probably convince a bunch of raiders, don't kill me, I'm a good cook. But
right. Yeah, they come at you with some guns drawn and they're like, hey, give us your crap or you're going to die. And you're like, can I convince you on maybe a nice dinner?
I make a wonderful wasteland souffle.
I don't have a whole lot, but yeah. How about a meal?
Yeah, so I think I would just harness that, those skills. Nobody wants to eat, raw glowing meat. People want to eat, cooked glowing meat, and somebody's got to do that. So,
okay. So I guess the situation here is you would need to find one, people who value that skill, and two, people who have the supplies so that they can value that skill. Like to your point, you come across a bunch of raiders, they may not even have the things that your recipe would need necessarily, or at least not in regular abundance. Whereas
so you're going to be looking at traders, you're going to be looking at employing hunters or hunting yourself,
or settlements
that way.
Cities, those kinds of things. So how would you go about this? Let's say you're out in the middle of the wasteland. What is your first step towards finding a settlement? Is that your first goal is find civilization?
I think so. I mean, we all can't, live and thrive absolutely alone. So I would probably try to get in on the good side of whatever settlement and use whatever connections they have to keep myself alive by giving what I can to the settlement, motive or values aside.
Okay, so you're looking for like a commune. You're looking for like some sort of socialist society where you can be like, I will do my fair share of work as long as you keep me safe and keep me alive. And
absolutely.
And that work is cooking.
I'm a pretty small guy. I'm not going to really do well. I can't run. I've got asthma. I can cook a lot.
Right. So you'll become the cook.
Right.
Okay. So in the case of somewhere like New Vegas, though, like heading to the Strip and taking up with, say, one of the casinos could be very lucrative.
Absolutely. I've never worked in Vegas myself, but I've known a lot of people, not a lot of rough dogs that have worked in Vegas, and it's a crazy place to work. And it probably would be similar to New Vegas.
Yeah, in some ways. Yeah. Busy
and dirty and grungy and gross.
Yeah. Morally bankrupt in some regards. Yeah. All right. I can see where this is going. What about the rest of you guys? What do you think? How do you think this would work out? Do you think this is a good plan for a good game?
I mean,
Little Green says,
I honestly see the value of having someone who knows how to cook, especially in the wasteland, because it's it's an important skill to have, especially when you're dealing with meats you might not know. It's nice to know, to have someone who's like, oh, that's cooked perfectly. It won't kill you.
Yeah. I feel like you would need some secondary skills as well. Like being a chef today requires a deeper understanding of it's almost like being a chemist. You have to have an understanding of like, if you cook something at a certain temperature, this is what happens to it on a molecular level, right?
And depending on how in depth you get into it, a biologist of sorts.
Yeah.
Because you need to know like all the parts of an animal, what is good to eat, what is not good to eat, and how to carve it even.
Right.
So even get like butchery and gets put into it.
Right. And in the Wasteland, I feel like that is probably even more important because the animals are so strange and the plant life is so strange and even more dangerous. So, for example, you come across something that has been mutated. That doesn't mean it's going to work just like the regular version that we know from regular life. What parts of it are edible? What parts aren't? Are there things that you can somehow reduce the radiation from in order to make it edible? Are there venomous creatures that are still edible if you eat certain parts of it or if you prepare them in a certain way? Just like there are in real life. You know, there are some animals that are extremely venomous, but there are certain parts that you can prepare or eat that actually do work, but they're very dangerous and you have to prepare them correctly. I feel like that could be a very valuable skill to have, but it would take a lot more training and knowledge. And there's the potential for an oops, which could lead to a lot more dire consequences. And Rob the Princess says, I just turned in. Are we talking about cannibalism? That could be another aspect of it. Like, what if you're out there in the wilderness and you come across a settlement and you're like, and they're like, hey, and you walk up and you're like, hey, everybody, just a traveler, just looking to do some trade or just see if there's anything that, you know, we can do, just kind of passing by. And they're like, okay, who are you? What do you got? And you're like, well, I don't have a whole lot, but I don't know. You guys looking for anybody who can prepare food? Are you looking for a chef or anything? And they're like, actually, yeah, we could use a chef. Our last one just got killed by some raiders. And you're like, all right, great. What kinds of food do you guys need prepared? And they're like, people.
So we're talking about the Gourmand's Kitchen then?
Yeah, like the Gourmand's Kitchen.
Perfect example.
Right. What do you say to that good at game? Are you like when it comes down to your survival? Are you okay with preparing people, even if you're not eating them? If you had to prepare it for other people in order to ensure your survival, are you okay with that? You're not killing them. You're just cooking them.
Am I butchering them?
I mean, if they're already dead, maybe. Probably. You're still preparing them on some level.
All right. I say, hey, I gotta survive. I don't want to turn around and walk away and risk getting eaten by these. Yeah, I'll cook some people. Absolutely.
Right. Because they might just want to eat you. That's the other side of this, right?
Right. Yeah. I would 100% cook a few humans for them and then dip out when they're sleeping or something.
Oh man, that's rough, but that's where these games go though, right? Like, oh wow.
It makes a great holotape.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this becomes one of those like gangster movies or TV shows where like you get in, sleep slightly, stick your foot in the door, and then like you just can't figure out a way out because you know if you try to get out, they're going to come after you because you're already too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, oof.
Yeah. For me though, I guess I have a massive interest in power armor, so I think I might, push comes to shove, have to just take them all out.
If you come across enough weaponry and power armor to do so?
For sure. If I'm in danger, I mean, I'm looking out for myself, right?
Yeah. Save up some caps, meet some Brotherhood types or just anybody who has some extra gear, kind of stock up, and then one night just take them all out.
Right. I mean, if I was partnered with a faction or something, they would have my back with cannibals. I think I would have to black market it or something.
Yeah. Oof. I mean, this definitely sounds like a type of playthrough that I've done before, Right. Right. Man, Maverick, do you have any thoughts on this? I don't know if he's having audio issues or not. If you do, feel free to chime in. Yeah, I think he's kind of dipping in and out. All right. Well, any other thoughts on survival? Let's move on to a second question for you, Good at Game. Let's say you can't find. Let's go to a second scenario here. Let's say you can't rely on cooking for survival. Do you have a backup plan? What's your backup plan? Let's say you can't find a settlement where cooking is needed. What if they're like, yeah, we've got a chef?
Oh, that's a good question. How much evidence in these games? It doesn't really matter, but how much evidence do we have of people being a bard?
Not much. There doesn't. I mean, a little bit. Like in places like New Vegas and in places there are performers, but like bards, as in like traveling performers. I don't. Off the top of my head, I can't think of very many. If anything. There are, there's like radio hosts. There are people who perform but don't necessarily travel that I can think of. But traveling performers, that seems like a rarity. And I think that's probably because in most, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In situations where people are struggling for survival, they have less time and need for entertainment. Because they're focusing mostly on survival. They're focusing mostly on those, food, safety, those kinds of things, right? So there is that side of it. But, I mean, that doesn't mean you couldn't try.
Right. Well, I think what I would do in this case is kind of exactly how I play the games personally, which is sticking very close to a safe place for a long time before branching out further and exploring and discovering. So I think I would try to immediately find a settlement of people to not, necessarily leech off of, but learn survival tactics and things like that to eventually move on my own. I'm pretty solitary. So I think I would learn things and then move away at a slow pace, not using people, but in a weird way, I guess it is.
A wanderer.
Right. Yeah. Some wanderlust there.
So like just an adventurer at heart, somebody who just kind of only stays for so long and then moves on. Right.
Yeah. Cook you some good food.
Yeah, that makes sense. Aiden Smith writes Herbert Daring Dashwood, who was an adventurer. Like that was that was his thing, right? He wasn't really a bard, but he was an adventurer. He was somebody who was always on the move and doing grand deeds and those kinds of things, right?
Awesome.
So somebody like that, somebody who could spin a yarn and tell a tale and made himself out to be more, interesting than he actually was, probably.
Yeah, taking the silver shroud on the road.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, there's some value to that. Also, somebody like that often makes their the image of themselves more important and ominous even than they actually are. And so their reputation kind of precedes them. So people are less likely to mess with them because, oh, I've heard of you, that kind of thing.
Right. The coveted legacy. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's an interesting idea. For sure. Cool. All right. Little Green.
Yes.
Let's wrap up good at games thing. Do you think that the traveling adventurer would work out? Have you considered this as a survival technique?
I mean, it's something that I'd probably do myself, especially since I don't have a very strong set of skills other than as by training or trade, I'm a photographer. There's not many needs for a photographer, but with that comes a lot of other skills. I'm very good with working with my hands, building stuff, cooking, obviously, since we discussed that before the show. Yeah. And even other skills, I blend. I've taught myself to blend into crowds very easily. So if I'm doing a surprise proposal photo shoot, no one recognizes a guy but a giant camera. So
maybe you could just be like that, the guy who looks so much like a regular guy that nobody notices him.
Yeah,
that's
kind of what it is.
That's your superpower, is totally not noticeable guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
totally average man.
Yes, it's a skill that I have kind of learned, but it's actually a useful skill when you just don't want to be bothered or you're trying to kind of spy on someone. Right.
Well, it's like the idea behind ninjas, actual ninjas in Japanese history weren't fictional ninjas. They didn't sneak around in black robes and cool masks and things like that, because that would make them stand out. right? Like if you happen to notice a dude sneaking around in all black clothing when nobody wore all black clothing, you'd be like, what's that dude doing there, right? That'd be like super weird. Yeah. But what they actually wore was the same thing as everybody else wore, because that's what made them blend in, was by looking like the peasants and the regular people that they actually were a part of. And by blending in with the commoners is how they were able to sneak around. So so they looked like farmers and regular, workers and people like that. So yeah, that's how ninjas worked. But yeah, so that totally makes sense. I could see that. We'll take a break. I'll thank our patrons, and I've got a review to read out, and then we'll be back and we'll continue with the rest of the show. It's time for that spring reset. I'm taking a look at everything in my closet and figuring out that, oh no, this absolutely needs to go. And it's about time I replace things so that my clothes aren't older than my 15-year-old. Now you might think that they lasted that long because they were well made, but no, they're in terrible condition. Unlike the new jeans I just got from Quince. Jeans have always been my personal go-to because you can kind of wear them for lots of different things, but maybe they're not your thing. Maybe you're looking for, 100% European linen with insanely soft flow knit activewear fabric. It's definitely getting warmer, and their flow knit activewear is moisture wicking, anti-odor, and soft enough that you'll actually want to wear it every day. So pick out what you want. You can't go wrong because they have prices 50 to 60% less than similar brands. And like I said before, they are high quality. I continue to wear their clothes all the time, and I know that these new jeans are going to last me a lot better than the other things in my wardrobe. And on top of it, they look great. They're so comfortable. And I spent just as much on the jeans that I am now cleaning out of my wardrobe. So if you're looking for something better, just all around better, go check out Quince. So go do it right now. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/falloutlore.
Hello there, old chap. Good to see another of General Atomic's finest, still eager to serve.
All right, here we are in the middle of the show. This is where we get to thank our patrons. So these guys and everyone else who helps to support this show every month. And you guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, because it's because of you guys that I'm able to do this as a full-time thing. The people who support the show, the people who support the other shows, everyone who listens to the show, thank you so very, very much for being here. We have a brand new patron this last week, Stephen B. Thanks for signing up. And thank you to all of our patrons, all 44 of you who have supported the show this last month. And if you're interested in checking out the Patreon, if we've helped you get through your work week, your workout, your commute to work, or cashing in that extra rewards thing at Dairy Queen and getting that, any size Blizzard. And so you're like, oh, I'll get the medium. And then your wife's like, it's any size. You might as well get the large. And then you're like, okay. And then you get the large one, and then you eat the large one anyway. And then your wife's like, you should save some because then you can put it in the freezer and have it for tomorrow. And then you're like, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. And then you end up eating the whole thing. And then you have to do a podcast afterwards. And then now you're like, oh my God, I ate an entire large Blizzard. If that happened to you and you're feeling kind of full because of it, go to patreon.com/falloutlorecast and check out all the different tiers, because even at the lowest tiers, you can get ad-free episodes for all the different episodes that are on the Patreon. And even the higher tiers allow you to do things like join us on episodes like this, or get t-shirts or stickers, all sorts of things. So go check that out. And we also have a new review that came in. This one is super interesting, guys. Listen to this. So this one is from that podcast kid from the US, who wrote in and said, this is the best podcast ever. I find this is probably one of the most unique reviews ever. Listen to this. Hello, my name is Nicholas Saldana, and I love the podcast. And even though I never got the chance to play any Fallout games, this podcast has made me extremely engaged in the whole Fallout universe, all thanks to your podcast. Keep up the good work. A fan of the Fallout universe who hasn't even gotten a chance to play the games yet. I'm guessing they check out content on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, but actually hasn't even played the games for themselves. So Thank you so much for taking the time to leave that review. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or just even have an account and would like to take the time to leave us a 5-star review and you put in some words, so that I'll read it out in a future episode of the show. Also, I know a good 50% of you at least listen on Spotify, and they have a way to review shows now. So if you go to the page where you can see all the different episodes, if you scroll to the top and then look down below the title and the description, if you leave us a 5-star review on there, that would be super helpful, because Spotify now ranks shows according to the average rating. So if you leave us a 5-star review on that as well, that would be a huge help. So thank you to everyone who takes time to do that. Thank you to all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. I'm going to continue digesting this gigantic blizzard and get back to the rest of the show with our patrons. Here we go.
If you have any questions about Nuka World, I'd be delighted to answer them.
Yes, Little Green, talking from experience. I told my wife I just needed a medium-sized one, and she's like, but you can get any size you want. I'm like, I don't need a large. I will eat the whole thing. Once it's in front of me, I'm just going to eat it.
Always get the large.
Always get. I don't need that many more calories. I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to keep eating it. I know me. I know how this works.
But it's any size.
I know, right?
Treat yourself.
Yeah, treat myself.
Treat yourself.
Treat myself
bro.
to diabetes is what I'll do. All right. So, all right. Sounds like Maverick's mic is working. Maverick, did you want to chime in on any of Good at Game's theories here about survival?
So, okay, let's recap on that then, because I heard every third word.
Oh, okay. So you didn't really hear much of it. Okay. Well, here, why don't we jump to you now that we've got an actual good connection going? What would you do for as long as we've got a good connection going right here? What would you do for survival in the Wasteland?
Okay, so what I would do as far as in the Wasteland, I would do first I'd figure out what's going on, because if it would be me, I'd probably be coming out of a vault somewhere.
Okay, but in this scenario, you're not coming out of a vault. You were just patched up by a doctor, like in Fallout New Vegas, and you're just sent out the door. You have no family, you have no vaults.
Okay.
You're just out there, like you're out in the wilderness, and you've got no home base. And it's like, go, survive. What do you do first?
First, I would have to find a weapon.
That's probably a good idea. And where would you go look for a weapon?
I would probably, and I don't condone this, probably find a home, because, homes, people probably have weapons at this point.
Well, I'm assuming you're just finding whatever structures are nearby.
Yeah.
But you don't really know if anyone's in them. Like, it's the Wasteland, right? Like, who even knows if people are in the buildings? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, you come across any structure, all of them look run down. You don't know if anyone's in the structure until you're up on it. So you don't know if it's a home. Like, a home in that context is anywhere people are living, but people are living in all sorts of weird types of locations, right? So you don't know if it's a home or not.
This is just true
until you're up on it. So I guess you're just looking for whatever structures you can come by to just kind of loot and see what's there. I mean, that's the Fallout experience, right, man? That's like,
see what's there.
Yeah. So you would like go looting. That's your first instinct is just start searching for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My first instinct would probably be to go looting for stuff, and then probably find civilization, because us humans, you can't put a good human down. There's almost always a way that will pop back up somewhere.
Mm-hmm. A good human meaning like small, people who survive. Somewhere. Right. There's always, you're going to find a settlement somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Not necessarily morally good, but like people will survive.
Even if it's just a house out in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Now, how do you go about?
Yeah, not like morally.
Right, but people will survive. How do you go about convincing them when you meet them that, one, you're not a threat, and two, what are you trying to? Are you convincing them you should live there?
It would be more like I'd convince them first to get in. I would convince them that I'd be like just a wanderer, just passing through, looking for supplies and stuff.
Okay.
Then probably if I like it, like it there, if it's big enough or if it's safe enough, I'd probably try to work my way up from there, gain people's trust, maybe participate in the settlement gossip in the saloon or whatever it is.
So you'd work your way in socially.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then go all the way to the top.
You want to run the settlement? Is that your ultimate goal?
I will run it.
You'll become the leader.
To the ground.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. No. I would. Yes, I would go try to rise through the ranks socially, but I would only try to make the settlement better, not actually run it to the ground.
Yeah, I got
just for everyone for context, because people are out there.
I get it. You were joking. But socially, so you would find like the social place, like the saloon, the bar, whatever, and you would start making social connections to then try to integrate yourself. Right. That's interesting. Okay. So less of a like, hey, who needs work, and more of a like actually making social connections in order to integrate yourself and make yourself kind of feel, connected with the people there, so that
fit in, be a ghost.
All right. That makes sense. Okay. What do you guys think about this? Good game or low grain? What do you think about this strategy of like looting and then finding a community and then working your way in socially?
I mean, it does seem very solid because that's kind of what you do in almost every of the Fallout games as it is too, minus all like the, the questing. So it's one of the first things that I always seem to do is like, all right, find a place to stay to call my own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like it's a solid thing because then also like then you don't have to worry about like anything else as long as you can fit inside whatever society you find. You're kind of set until something bad happens, really. Assuming
that they take you in, that you socially it does work out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, there's always the potential that you don't fit in socially. Like some social groups just don't click. Like maybe you don't like them. Maybe you get to the settlement and they're a bunch of cannibals and you're like, I don't think I want to fit in with these guys. Like there's 100 different variations on what could or could not happen. But assuming that you want to fit in and assuming that you do, it seems like an actually, reasonable tactic, right? You scavenge until you have the supplies you need. You find a settlement. You work your way in socially, and I would assume that you then have to prove yourself through work and effort. Good at Game started with work. Maverick started with social, but both of those things probably are two parts of, let's go back to cooking, the recipe for making sure that you can fit in with a settlement, right? Now, I guess at some point you need both, but you have to start with one or the other, right? Which one do you pitch first? Do you pitch
second thing?
Do you pitch the the value of work, or do you pitch the social connection? What was that, Maverick?
Yeah, I also had a second thing.
Yeah,
I had a second thing that I wanted to bring out here. That another thing that I would do is I would become a bounty hunter.
Okay, so that would be like the job that you would pitch is bounty hunting? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. That seems like a dangerous...
Like the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Hey guys, has anyone seen The Mandalorian? I can do that. Man, that sounds like a dangerous job. That's some dangerous work. You feel like you're cut out for that kind of work?
My character in the game is, I don't know me personally, until I actually got into it and actually did it,
You feel like, well, here's the thing. Bounty hunters have to be morally gray enough to be able to hunt down people regardless of if they're good or bad. They do it for the money. Do you feel like you could do that?
in the Wasteland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Like, it doesn't matter their situation. It doesn't matter if they're good people or bad people. It doesn't matter if you have to kill them in front of their kids or bring them in front of their families or whatever. It doesn't matter. You just are doing the job because it's a job.
Yeah. Because you got to do what you got to do out in the Wasteland to survive.
I mean, it's true.
Even if that means you got to do a couple morally gray things out there. It doesn't mean that I won't feel bad about it later, but in the heat of the moment, no.
I got you. I mean, it would be naive to think that any of us could live in a Wasteland situation and get through it without having to do some sort of morally sticky things, like some morally rough, make some morally rough decisions.
Training,
right?
Trading, do some
right. You're going to have to make some rough decisions. So I guess in that case, you know, at least you're going into it knowingly, you know. But at the same time, as a bounty hunter, you have some leeway in deciding who you take jobs from.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a little bit of that as well. What do you guys think? Good a game, Lil Green?
Ooh. This one's sticky, man.
It's rough. I mean, any of those kinds of jobs. I mean, one, it's morally gray, but two, it's difficult. That's hard work and dangerous.
Hard work. You've got some training, obviously, so you kind of know what you're doing. I mean, if I had to, personally, I wouldn't be a bounty hunter. But if I had to, I mean, I would have a limit, right, of how heinous the crime is. If the crime is somebody kidnapped this girl and her dad came and got her back, and now the original person wants the dad dead, I'm not going to go do that.
But sometimes you don't even know the story. Sometimes
right.
like oftentimes the bounty hunter doesn't want to know the story. They just want to know, this is the target, this is the payout. Don't tell me the details.
Too much of an anxious person to take that job.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, you know. And like, you're not only dealing with the person you're taking in, but you're dealing with whatever protection they have, whatever situation they're in when you get to them.
Right.
Like,
if you say no to a job, who knows if they're going to turn around and try to kill you for saying no, because now you know something. You're a link somewhere.
Could be. Yeah. There's a lot of what situation can you get through that and not be potentially hurt in some way? You know, like, even if you survive those situations, you're still potentially going to be, you know, injured.
Right.
It's rough work.
I'm definitely not a cap influenced Wastelander. I'm very solo.
Yeah. It's rough work. Lil Green?
I mean, it is a viable thing, honestly, because bounty hunting is probably something that, and no matter how society is, it's going to be a job that people want done.
Oh, I can imagine you get to that settlement and somebody's like, hey, we got some problems with the Raiders. You go take out their boss, and I've got some caps for you. I mean,
there you go. Yeah,
that's a real easy one, you know. Or you know, just like the guy in the bar down the street, he's competition. You know, get rid of him. You know, like either or. You know, those things are going to crop up.
Yeah, it's something that, whether good or bad, you got to stay. You know, you got to stay in the gray of like, all right, it's a job.
Yeah.
So as long as you have the mentality for it, and it doesn't put a target on your back, why not? Right.
Well, there's a reason why, like, you wear a mask when you do those kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting call, Maverick. Like, I don't know. I don't know that I could do it, but I'm sure there's people out there who would, and you'd make some good caps for it.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Well, Lil Green, let's move on to you, buddy. What do you think? You're out there in the wasteland. You need to survive. What do you do first?
Honestly, it's kind of like the same story of like finding protection of some sort. So like find whatever weapon I can find, like I could get my hands on. I mean, me personally, I always have a knife on me. So like, you know, I might have that, but I need more. And then just finding shelter or a place to live and just go from there. It's just trying to rebuild a life. So I'm just trying to fulfill my needs first and just see where I am. That's really it.
That's a good point. What needs specifically? Like, we haven't really talked about needs beyond things like finding a community, finding protection like weapons and things. But like, what about even things like, I mean, obviously food,
shelter, fire,
companionship? What about like other people?
I personally can be like by myself for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So like finding a society might not be a top priority. It's just taking care of myself. So like, I need a place to shelter me from the elements, find myself some food and fire and water. So it's just like cover my basic needs. Now I could live. Now I could make things better from there. Mm-hmm. So that's just my first step. But like the next thing would be ultimately getting back into some sort of community and then using whatever skills and fulfilling whatever hole they need. So it's just taking it easy. I'm not going to be, or, you know, if I come across like the NCR or some military or security force, I'm like, okay, hey, you know, they can provide everything I need, including protection, food, water. Is it a hard life? Yes. Is it a risky life? Yes. But is it guaranteed? You know, yes, because, you know, everywhere you go in the Fallout world, there's some military protective force.
So you're saying you would sign up. So like, if you came across the NCR, like a patrol, you would go up and say, hey, you guys look like you know what you're doing. My video just froze. So
I was about to say your video stopped.
But you'd be like, hey, you guys know what you're doing. I think you guys are cool. How about you point me in the direction to where I can sign up and, you know, I'd like to join you. Like,
because I feel like that is like a good way of saying like, yeah, all of my needs will be taken care of. You know, I might be putting myself in a risky situation on the daily, but you know what? It'd be worth it. And especially just living in the Fallout world is a risky situation because like you got all different types of just like creatures that roam the wasteland. You got raiders that roam the wasteland, and I feel like dealing with them as just a typical civilian, it's tough. It's rough. Yeah.
Well, here's another perspective on that. You sign up for somebody like the NCR, they don't only have soldiers.
Yeah.
They have an entire structure underneath that. So they have infrastructure, they have like the Brotherhood has scribes, right? The NCR has people who work back at the bases that maintain the paperwork, that deal with just, you know, the personnel and documenting things and coordinating and communications. And like, there's lots of different roles. There's not everyone is out there on patrol or dealing with, you know, raider insurrections, or, you know, some of them are just like, hey, how do we get water to the nearby, you know, settlement that we just
you don't always have to have a rifle in your hand. You could just be, you know, trying to make things better, but you know, you have the military title.
Right. And basically the NCR is kind of like a government. They're like a governmental organization in a way. Yeah. So you might find a role in something like that isn't, you know, on the front line where you could fit in. Now, where would you feel like you would fit in something like that?
I mean, I guess one thing that I could say I'm good with would probably be scavenging, because I'm always good at just finding random things or like things that are needed.
Really?
And,
wow.
Yeah, and
I hate looking for stuff. I'm so bad at it.
And it's just being an idiot teenager, I've gone in and out of buildings that I should not have been in and out of, and like safely.
Okay.
But like, you know, I know how to get around dangerous situations, like, and like just being able to search out things. So I'm good on my feet, and I guess it's a good way to say it. So I guess, you know, a scavenger would be something I'd be good at.
So
Cooking
a scout
would be something I'm good at.
So like scouting,
or even just laboring.
Okay, yeah.
So scouting, that'd be something else. So it's just, you know,
I mean, your photography skills might actually work for something like a scout.
Yeah, that's true, because I know it's not a big thing, but also I know how to develop film, because that seems to be the one thing that they use in Fallout, since cameras are still a thing, but it's all like old-fashioned stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess, a scout of some sorts would be where I'd go.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what do you guys think? Good a game? Maverick, what do you think? Taking up with somebody like the NCR, trying to enlist? Does that sound like a good survival technique? Good a game is shaking his head.
For me, it wouldn't be the NCR. Everyone knows I have a bias towards the Enclave.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well,
even if you listen to the finale of our Factions at War tournament on the Fallout Roundtable, you very much know that I have a bias towards the Enclave, even though I have to be the impartial and sometimes judge and moderator.
oh, but you still have to pick a side in the end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, all right. What do you think, Good a game?
Yeah, I don't want none of it. I want no business in any of it. Any faction. I would so much rather dupe a poor community of people with my resourcefulness, get what I need and get out of there and go on my own. I just have so many conflicts with the NCR's choices, the Brotherhood's choices, it goes on and on. Of course, these factions are meant to have just a little bit about them or a lot about them that's really messed up.
None of them are perfect. It's true. There's always something that you're going to be like, I don't know if I like this part. It's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, I've got one more question for you. And I think that this one might be the most important question of all. So you're out there on your quest for survival before you've reached the settlement or the faction that you've been trying to get to, or, whatever your goal is. And over the horizon comes running up a floppy-eared dog.
Oh.
What do you do? Do you take on a dog meat? Is like a potential companion also going to eat some of your food?
Yes, in a heartbeat. Yes.
Yes. So,
I'd rather deal with a dog than a human sometimes.
All right. So Lil Green, who said, I could be about good on my own, is like, yes, but in the case of dog meat, absolutely.
Yes. Well, also, it's a companion that, yes, they're going to take some of your food, water, but it's someone that can hear or sense things that you can't.
Right. It's a 24-hour alarm system.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah. Good at Game has a cat on his lap right now. When we're not talking cat meat, we're talking dog meat. So what do you think?
Oh yeah, I would definitely take dog meat 100%. If I had the option to take cat meat, sure. Yeah, I have a little kitty, but dog meat, absolutely.
All right, Maverick, dog meat.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Definitely dog meat. All right. Variation on the question. Instead of dog meat coming over the horizon, it's a Mr. Handy. And the Mr. Handy is similar to in like Fallout 4, but of course you're not in Fallout 4. You're not in the Fallout 4 situation. But that Mr. Handy confuses you for its former master. And it's like, "Oh, sir, so good to see you. I've been missing you for so long." What do? Do you take on the Mr. Handy and pretend that you are its long-lost master?
I mean, yeah. That takes no resources, and it's protection. Because Mr. Handy's, they have, their, built-in, weapons of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, without any hesitation. Oh, that's my name. I'm sorry. You must have gotten damaged. My name is such and such. Come on, Codsworth.
Mr. Pillsbury, so good to see you, sir. Yes, that's right. I'm Mr. Pillsbury. Right. Yes.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good game.
Yeah, no.
Good game's nodding.
Yeah, especially something that has lasted 200 plus years and is still functioning. It's done something to survive.
Right.
So no, yeah, I'll take a Mr. Handy in a heartbeat.
Right, Maverick, you're on board with this.
Yes, for basically the same reasons that Little Green pointed out.
Good game.
No, that's some aluminum and some steel scrap. I'm taking it.
You're gonna break it down?
Yeah, I don't want that thing around. It's just you can't turn it off.
You're gonna be like, yeah, that's me. Here, turn around for a moment, and then you're gonna like disconnect the wires and power down, and then just pull the parts out.
Either that or be like, yep, I'm your master. Hey, I need you to go to Hawaii.
Go to Hawaii right now. Find a way.
Give him a mission. I need you to go to Hawaii. And then, kind of no problem after that. Unless he goes to Hawaii and he comes back, then you got a problem. Or a great companion.
Okay. All right. Last variation on the question. You found your first place to kind of bunk up for the night. And you've fallen asleep and you wake up in the morning and you didn't realize it, but in the middle of the night, you roll over and you were so tired when you fell asleep that you had placed your bedding right up to next to this corner with all this like rubble and stuff in it. And among the rubble was an egg, and the egg is hatching when you wake up. And out from the egg comes a little baby Deathclaw that just hatches right out of this egg. And the first thing it sees is you. And it has now like locked its eyes on you and thinks it's your mother. It's mother. Do you keep it and hope to train it as your own little baby Deathclaw and try to raise it as your like pet Deathclaw so that it protects you from that point on, and hopefully you can make it, like a domesticated Deathclaw? Or do you do something else? What do you do with it?
I GTFO. No. Okay, because that egg was hatching, so it was being taken care of, which means Mama is still in the area.
Mama's still there.
you're like, nope, I get out of there. What if you get out of there? Let's continue your scenario specifically. I want the two other people to think about this. Your scenario specifically, you get out as fast as you can. You travel for a good mile or so, but then you look back and you notice that this thing has just followed you. What do you do then?
Then I guess I have a companion, and then like I'll take care of it. Yes, but if it starts to get like a little too close and a little nibbly on me for some reason, then I have to take care of it, honestly, because like
it's like the size of a puppy right now. It's like,
but still, like a baby Deathclaw can still probably kill me.
I mean, it's maybe like it's like the size of like a cat, like it's a cat-sized Deathclaw.
But I don't know. It's something that my first instinct is run away. But if it is attached to me, then I try and take care of it as best as I can. But it's just one of those fears of like it's still an irradiated wild animal that its first instinct is to kill everything around it.
Right.
So,
but how cool would it be if you had like a full-grown Deathclaw that was
yeah, it'd be great. Just like, walking around and having like a Deathclaw pet.
If
that was the path,
mom,
yes, I'd take it.
Right, and like didn't harm you, and was like your watchdog.
Nobody would mess with me.
Nobody would mess with you ever.
Nobody would mess with me.
You would be the most badass person in the Wasteland.
Yes. If that was the situation, yes, I first run away. If it follows me and I'm not dead an hour later because Mama found me, I guess, yes, I have a companion.
Right. Okay. All right. Maverick, what do you think?
So going back to the very beginning.
You wake up, the Deathclaw's hatching out of the egg.
Nah, first I'd probably... Where would this egg be placed, though? That's the thing.
It's like in the corner of the room, like in the rubble next to where you were sleeping. It was dark when you laid down. You didn't notice it. You wake up, the lights, the sun's up, and there's, just in the rubble, kind of mixed in with a bunch of all the debris, there's an egg, and it's hatching.
I'm probably overthinking this because I'm trying to think tactically here. see if Mama's still around, or if Mama's still around, I am hiding because there is no way I can outrun a Deathclaw. Absolutely no way. I'd be Deathclaw Chow.
Right. Okay. So in this scenario where Mama's nowhere around, what do you do?
I'd run for the hills.
You're just getting out. You're just leaving.
I'm running for the hills.
You're getting away from that little baby. Yeah. Okay. Good at game. What do you think?
I'm snatching that baby up.
Taking the baby.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking that baby and I'm going to do my best to train it, to domesticate it. And I mean, not considering that process, all I've wanted ever in life is to ride on the back of a centaur, and a Deathclaw is pretty good.
That's pretty, yeah. I mean,
get a saddle and my super sledge. You know, 2-handed super sledges would be great.
If you dressed up like Abraham Lincoln on the back of that Deathclaw, that would be even more awesome.
Wow.
With a super sledge and a laser rifle.
Abraham Lincoln Ghoul Slayer.
That would be amazing.
Ooh,
yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that would go into your stories as your wandering adventurer stories. You could call yourself Abraham Lincoln Ghoul Slayer and take pictures. You could meet up with Lil Green, who would take pictures. He would be your marketing person who would take pictures of you and disperse them around the wasteland.
The White House photographer.
Yeah, there you go. And then
I love the sound of that.
Yeah, paint the stories around the Commonwealth or wherever you happen to be living or whatever it was, but it would work really well if it was the Commonwealth or, somewhere more patriotic. And
the capital Wasteland.
The capital waste.
That's what you're thinking.
Either of those would work. Either of those two very patriotic locations, and you could just go with that. That would be awesome. So
and then I'd hunt him down.
And then somebody would put a hit on you, and Maverick would have to come hunt you down. But then you'd have to deal with fighting a dude with a Deathclaw, a super sledge, and a laser rifle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Done stealthily.
This has come full circle. This is amazing. This has been a great episode, guys. Thank you for joining me. Here, let's go back through and feel free to share anything that you guys are doing, any cool stuff you're working on, and ways people can reach out to you. Let's start with Good at Game. What do you got going on?
Yeah, hey, just you can find me on Twitter, Good at Game.
On a Deathclaw.
On a Deathclaw with 2 super sledges. And hit me up on Twitter and see what I'm up to.
Awesome, dude. Thanks for joining. And Lil Green?
You could find me if you want and check out some of my personal work on Instagram at lilgreen_photography, or you could find me sometimes in the Discord chat. But I'm really not working on anything because it's cold and snowy outside in New Jersey right now. So, but
yeah. It got down into the 20s the other day. When the cold weather came down here to Florida.
In the 20s is bad. It's been like the teens and single digits up around me.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, 20s in Florida is like, we don't know what to do. We don't what.
It's bad.
What is that? What is this temperature?
20s in Florida is a heat wave for us up north.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure. But in Florida, we're what is going on?
If you're in the 20s, it's bad. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this other. No, it's bad.
It's weird. It's weird. Lizards fall out of trees and stuff. It's
that is so freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's super. The alligators stay under the water and they keep their noses up above the surface. So if the water freezes, they can hibernate. It's weird. Awesome. Yeah, it's super weird. Maverick, I know you got the Fallout Roundtable going on, so people should tune into that. You got anything else happening?
Not much.
Not much. Staying warm.
Working on the podcast. Trying to get everything all up to date and everything. We have a production meeting Thursday for the roundtable.
Cool. You got any cool topics coming up that you want to share?
Episode 3 comes. We're going to record it next week because this is a bi-weekly show. Because of course I had to get 3 transportation experts. And a lot of us
I see.
Don't have a lot of time together.
Right. That's tricky to coordinate. But do you have a topic for the 3rd episode?
Yes, we actually do. We're the main topic is to get to know us a little bit better and how we got into Fallout.
Got it.
And then
Cool.
and then into that we go into the why Fallout is more appealing for older people, like when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we reword the question to make it like sound more better.
I gotcha.
Better,
but why it appeals to an older demographic? I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we're deciding whether to include why Fallout 76 does not have more PvP than it does. But we're going to bring it up at the production meeting and maybe make that its own episode.
Yeah, I can see that.
We got a ton of stuff.
Its own episode. Okay. Well, cool. Well, good luck with that. Thanks for joining me, everybody. And let's see. You know where all my stuff is. Robotsradio.net. All the different shows. So all the different Lorecasts. So this and Elder Scrolls and The Witcher Lorecast and Mass Effect and Cyberpunk. Also, I'm streaming every night of the week on either Robots Radio's YouTube channel or the Twitch channel or the Facebook page. I'm restreaming on all those different things, so you can come join us live on all those different platforms. And do I have anything else going on? I'm sure I have lots of things going on, but just come hang out with us. Oh, we've got the Minecraft server now. So, polled the community and was like, hey, you guys want to do a world thing where we can all keep a world running together? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And I put a list of different games we could do that with, and Minecraft won. So I spent the money on a Minecraft server, and we got a bunch of people building awesome stuff in Minecraft. So come join us. Got some cool plugins going on, and you can find the info for that on the Robots Radio Discord, which is also a place where you can go and chat with us about things like how you would survive in the Wasteland. I'd love to hear your stories on that as well. I'm also thinking about
plugins.
Yeah.
Speaking of plugins, I didn't get to plug I have a Twitter account now.
Yeah, go for it.
It's at Fallout RTB.
There you go. Yeah, go follow that as well. And one last thing I wanted to say, but I forgot it. Oh, well, it probably wasn't that important. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Well, I'll be back next week with a regular episode as we get into February. And until then, stay safe in the Wasteland, and good luck training that little baby Deathclaw. And if you, what would be awesome is if they added mountable animals in Fallout 76 so you could ride around on a Deathclaw. That would be freaking amazing. And a Abraham Lincoln suit in the store, the Atom Shop. But now that I've said that, maybe it will become a real thing. If you're listening to this, Fallout 76 developers, which some of you guys I know do, I'll see you guys later. Have a good week. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
To plug into everything else we're doing, check out robotsradio.net. Also, look up the Robots Radio YouTube for videos about Fallout and other things. And check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/robotsradio.
You've been listening to a Robots Radio podcast. Smart shows for interesting people. Check out all the shows at robotsradio.net.